Earlier this year, Governor Brian Kemp signed a law making it legal to grow hemp in Georgia. That product has the potential to yield a pretty nice economic harvest, and not just for farmers. Here to discuss the economic impact in Georgia is attorney Steve O'Day, a partner at Smith, Gambrell & Russell, and Loveless Johnson III, co-founder and CEO of AmeriGreen Organics Company. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Steve, I want to start with you. The fact that Smith, Gambrell & Russell has a practice group kind of focusing on the cannabis industry leads me to believe there's a lot of potential for this sector. Where does the economic potential lie here in Georgia?
Well, we've been watching the markets, of course, so we see that there is significant potential. $14 billion industry right now, total industry for all cannabis production, and that's without legal hemp under the federal law, which passed in December, legalizing hemp nationwide, essentially, as soon as they approved state plans to grow it. So with the number of uses, potential uses for hemp in textiles and construction materials, in food additives, CBD, we see that there's a significant economic market just here in Georgia, but also throughout the country.
Wow, and AmeriGreen Organics certainly sees that potential. Tell me a little bit about your experience, Loveless. You have an operation in New Mexico, and you're considering here in Georgia as well.
Yes, we're actually considering us going all across the entire South of the country, but potential is everywhere. And in New Mexico, it's very unique because we have two outdoor growing seasons there. The only state in the country that has two full growing seasons outdoors per year. And so we are really excited to be there and to be in a state that it has so much land. 9.5 million acres our state land commission controls out of 77 million in the state. So a lot of space to grow and two full seasons to grow there really make us optimistic about how New Mexico will play a role here in making America #1, because we've got a long way to catch up.
Will you be able to do sort of similar things here in Georgia?
Yes.
You've got a pretty nice growing season.
Georgia has great growing season, but what Georgia has are a lot of places that need revitalization. And indoor growing is just as vital as outdoor growing in the hemp space. And there are a number of jobs that can be created here in Georgia, living wage jobs that folks can count on that will be coming to Georgia because of hemp.
And there's been a lot of focus on rural economic development, but I also would think that this industry would help people who are entrepreneurs, not just farmers, but there's a lot of potential there as well.
Yeah, and not just in actually growing and processing hemp, but all the ancillary businesses. You have suppliers, you have real estate investment, you have the additional economic activity that is involved with everybody that's employed in the hemp and cannabis industry spending that money. So as of this year, there's about 200,000 people employed in the cannabis industry nationwide. Wow. It's estimated that it'll go up to about 500,000 employed in the cannabis industry by 2023. So those are significant job potentials for distressed economic areas.
Yeah, I would say so. Is there a challenge, though, when it comes to producing hemp products that may come from regulations, whether it's the FDA or USDA, or do they seem to be on board with further hemp produced products?
The Georgia Department of Agriculture recently published its set of rules for growing hemp in Georgia. The comment period ended a couple of days ago, and they were scheduled to review them exactly 3 days ago. We do not know what the final regulations are going to say, but the draft regulations do set up some issues with respect to getting into hemp farming. For example, if even one plant in a crop ends up exceeding the 0.3% of THC, which is the legal limit for hemp production, if even one plant in the crop exceeds that, the entire crop gets destroyed. So there is potential for loss there, and anybody that gets into the industry is going to have to understand that.
Yeah, that's something that folks may not understand. You're in this industry, Loveless. What do you see in terms of potential moving forward here in Georgia with those things in mind, and also the products? Are you producing seeds and the actual plants, or are you doing more with the finished product?
We are a somewhat vertically integrated company. Our focus is on growing, on bottling, and on retail. And so we are carving out the ability to grow our own crops, have those crops extracted into finished products that we can sell in our retail operation also, and we'll be able to bottle the finished product as we go along, so we can keep the quality and the quality control where we need it to be. And that's a huge issue. As Steve just said, literally one plant out of 2,000 can cost you several $1,000,000 in a heartbeat. And so having a bit of diversity in the company is, in my mind, the way hemp companies will ultimately make it. If all your eggs are in one basket, anything could happen, except perhaps in the extraction industry. That's the one basket where most folks find they can put all their eggs and do quite well.
We'll have to end it there, but there's definitely room for more conversation. So thank you all for being here, and we'll have to have you back on the show.
Okay, thank you for having us.